This is Nightline.
Tonight, the urgent search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother as another deadline passes, set by someone claiming to be her captor.
We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help.
The family's plea.
We are at an hour of desperation.
And what authorities are saying tonight. Plus, undercover sting. Meta, the company behind Facebook, accused of being a marketplace for child predators.
These are individuals who explicitly use this platform to find and target these children.
Inside the undercover sting were agents posed as girls to catch the perpetrators.
Accounts would be immediately inundated with solicitations for sex, solicitations to share graphic material.
Meta now standing trial denying the allegations, what they said in opening arguments today. And making contact. Deep in the Peruvian Amazon, face to face with one of the last uncontacted tribes.
Seeing them is literally like having a lens into another century. It's something that's incredibly rare.
Why the Stone Age tribesmen suddenly revealed themselves.
They're moving like warriors. They're moving with their bows ready. They're looking at us and assessing if this is going to be a fight or a conversation.
Plus, Super Bowl MVP, Seahawks star Kenneth Walker III and Sam Darnold on the big game.
From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with the latest in the story that's gripped and confounded much of the nation for more than a week now. The terrifying abduction and search for Linsey Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The frantic search for Linsey Guthrie, mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, continues to grip the nation. Today, Savannah desperately asking for help.
We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
An alleged deadline to pay a ransom of $6 million by 5 p.m. today has passed. And after 9 days, there is still no sign of the beloved TV host's mother. The Guthrie family addressing alleged kidnappers over the weekend.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
On Thursday, authorities carefully revealing part of the timeline, narrowing in on a 45-minute window of when Linsey Guthrie disappeared early Sunday morning.
Early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. 2:28, Linsey's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Linsey and discovers her missing.
Love you. We love you.
The 54-year-old NBC anchor has been headlining the network's morning show for 13 years. Over the years, Linsey Guthrie has joined her daughter on the show.
Mama, great job. Love you. Thank you.
The Guthrie family still holding out hope as the urgent search continues into the 10th day.
We believe our mom is still out there. We need your help.
Authorities urging anyone with information to call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Our thoughts are with Savannah and her family during this time. We turn now to one of the first cases of its kind to go to trial against Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, which is accused of knowingly exposing children to predators, something Meta denies. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotersky.
This is 13-year-old Issa B. She posts on Facebook about losing her last baby tooth and her first day of 7th grade. And this is the kind of message she receives on Facebook Messenger, sexually explicit and accompanied by a pornographic video. But Issa isn't real. Her photos are AI generated. Her account was created by law enforcement as part of an operation they say is aimed to show how tech giant Meta, Facebook's parent company, puts children at risk for sexual abuse, human trafficking, and mental health harms.
I was shocked both by the speed and the scale of what we were seeing, the way in which accounts would be immediately inundated with solicitations for sex, solicitations to share graphic material.
New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres is suing to hold Meta accountable for its social media platforms that the state says in its lawsuit have become a marketplace for predators in search of children upon whom to prey. The lawsuit alleging Meta knowingly exposes children to the twin dangers of sexual exploitation and mental health harm.
I think there is some awareness in the public about the growing harm that these platforms pose to teen mental health and the addictive nature of the platforms. I think there's far less understanding about how prevalent the predatory behavior is in these spaces.
Today, opening arguments began, attorneys for the state laying out their case.
The evidence in this case will be that Meta has knowingly made false and misleading statements, particularly about the safety of its platforms for teens and preteens.
A lawyer for Meta arguing the company works hard to protect users.
Meta repeatedly has warned parents and teens and everyone that harmful content does get past Meta's safeguards.
It's unclear if Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg will take the stand. The case is a culmination of a more than 2-year investigation that included the months-long undercover sting operation designed to identify and arrest child predators who were using Meta's social media platform set up by Torres and his team of investigators.
We decided to test under real-world circumstances just how easy it would be for some of those predators to navigate through those platforms and actually try and exploit children in the real world.
Under Operation Metafile, 3 New Mexico men attempted to solicit children for sex. One 29-year-old man saying, "I can get in a lot of trouble if the cops find out," and a 47-year-old man asking a girl what motel she's staying at to give us some time to work on our kisses.
These perpetrators were clearly doing illegal stuff and knew they were doing illegal stuff and knew that they were doing illegal stuff on this platform.
The girls the men thought they were interacting with were decoy accounts set up by state agents. After arranging to meet at a local motel, the men were arrested, charged, and pleaded guilty. 2 were sentenced to 5 years in prison. 1 is on probation.
These are individuals who explicitly use this platform to find and target these children.
In its failed motion to dismiss the case, Meta said the company condemns all forms of sex trafficking and child exploitation, but there is no legal basis for the state's claims seeking to hold Meta liable for displaying content created and shared by third parties. Other social media platforms have settled similar lawsuits in other states.
There are a number of different cases that have been filed around the country. We know that in the California case, TikTok and Snapchat, they've settled. The situation in New Mexico is such where Meta has not settled.
This is not the first time that Meta has faced calls for accountability.
I'm here today because I believe Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy.
In 2021, Frances Haugen, who became known as the Facebook whistleblower, painted a stark picture in testimony before Congress of a tech giant with tremendous power but little sense of responsibility.
I saw Facebook repeatedly encounter conflicts between its own profits and our safety. Facebook consistently resolved these conflicts in favor of its own profits.
In a letter to employees posted on his Facebook page at the time, CEO Mark Zuckerberg wrote, "At the heart of these accusations is the idea that we prioritize profit over safety and well-being. That's just not true." Meta also said they have thousands of people working on safety and security issues globally and have invested billions in this area. In 2024, Zuckerberg went to Capitol Hill himself. He faced families whose children died from causes they attributed to social media.
No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered.
Critics believe very little has changed. And in fact, there are those who suggest that in recent years, the situation has gotten worse.
In a statement to ABC News, Meta calling the investigation ethically compromised, also saying in part, while the New Mexico Attorney General makes sensationalist, irrelevant, and distracting arguments by cherry-picking select documents, We're focused on demonstrating our long-standing commitment to supporting young people, introducing teen accounts with built-in protections, and providing parents with tools to manage their teens' experiences.
I think there are going to be a lot of revelations that, frankly, that has never been reported on in the public before over the course of the next 7 weeks, and it's going to be a real eye-opener for not only the jurors, but for the rest of the country.
Our thanks to Aaron. Up next, we're deep in the Peruvian Amazon with an exceptionally rare look at one of the world's last uncontacted tribes. Captured on camera, why the Stone Age tribesmen suddenly revealed themselves. Welcome back. We have for you tonight a remarkable glimpse at one of the world's last remaining uncontacted tribes. The indigenous people living as they have for all time, deep in the Peruvian Amazon jungle. Their survival increasingly threatened by the gradual destruction of their home around them.
There's Stone Age warriors coming out of the forest, and they're gonna kill us. They're living naked. They're pre-Metal Age, pre-Stone Age. They've missed out on the last few thousand years. These people came out of the jungle with their bows and arrows. 300,000 acres is a lot of rainforest, and in the Amazon, it's truly lawless country. It's just the jungle. So the Mashco-Piro are some of the last uncontacted tribes that are existing in the wildest parts of the Amazon rainforest. They'd say, you know, my Uncle Pedro was out up on the river and he saw the tribes. And you go, okay, but did he have a picture of the tribes? And they're like, no, he ran. But they've always sort of existed in the periphery of our imagination. The indigenous community that lives there, they called us and they said, we're terrified. They said, they're coming. There's arrows, there's footprints, we have signs, they're coming. But there was a local anthropologist there. He said, if they're coming out, they may be asking for help. So the local people asked us to witness this in case it happened. They contacted us. They've been isolated since the turn of the century, since the 1900s, and seeing them is literally like having a lens into another century. It's something that's incredibly rare. They're moving like warriors. They're moving with their bows ready. They're looking at us and assessing if this is going to be a fight or a conversation. All of them had their rope around their waist, rope around their ankles. They don't have backpacks. They keep rope to make bowstrings, to make arrows, to make traps. You know, the anthropologist spoke to them, and they know some of their language, not all of their language. You know, it's like we're speaking Spanish and Italian. We can kind of get there if we need to. The local anthropologist was saying, put your bows down. He was saying, we don't want this does not need to be violent. And he said, what do you want? And they said, food. And so they put a boat together and we gave them the plantains, which is a dangerous moment because the anthropologist had to get in the river up to his chest and get very, very close to them. So he's showing them trust by putting himself well within arrow range. And they rush the boat and they take the plantains off the boat. And we noticed the tragedy of the fact that they weren't sharing, that there was so much scarcity that they were grabbing them. The tribe ran back into the forest and everybody spooked. Then they came back out. You've come out now, what's your message? And they said, we want more plantains. Said, okay, we got it. We give you all the plantains we have. We said, what else? We want to know how to tell the difference between the bad guys and the good guys. And we said, who are the bad guys? And they said, the bad guys are cutting down the big trees. They said, you shouldn't cut down the big trees. They said, they're cutting down our forest. And then the Mashco-Piro vanished back into the forest. And then the following day, there's no grocery store, so we got to go fishing. Let's go fishing. And the tribe hadn't left. Arrows started flying. Everyone else was able to take cover. talking about a 7-foot arrow with a bamboo tip that's this big, the size of a machete. Came in through his scapula and then poked through just about where his belly button was, so it went through his entire body, really. We were able to help get him helicopter evac'd out of the jungle. They were able to save his life. In this case, we don't know why. We gave them all of those gifts. We don't know. We have more questions than answers. That shows the complexity of the relationship between these people, because they are terrified of the outside world, and they're coming out and saying, can we just have a little bit of help and please don't hurt us? They're so scared of being hurt. What's happening is if we don't protect this 300,000 acres, their land vanishes. You look at the Peruvian Amazon into Brazilian Amazon, it just was green infinity. And now that it's starting to be chopped up into smaller pieces, it's terrifying what's happening. We've identified that we can still protect what is essentially the wildest place on Earth. And that's what we're doing in the Amazon, is saving something that's important for everyone on Earth because it's so wild, because of the resources, because of the cultures that exist in there, and because it's so beautiful that if we lost it, it would just be a tragedy of the spirit. I've been there, I've walked through the fires myself. We're just burning it to the ground for nothing. We're burning it to the ground to make a quick buck. Farmers are moving in and they'll cut down trees, they'll cut down hardwood trees that are worth millions of dollars, burn them and then put cattle on that land with grass, and then sell those for burgers. Then we go down through a one-way door that we can't come back from. What the Jungle Keeper's mission is to save the 300,000 acres of rainforest. And if we can do that, the Peruvian government is going to make it into a national park, so it's protected forever. We're at 130,000 acres, so we're almost halfway. The name of the book is Jungle Keeper, What It Takes to Change the World. I've always loved the other creatures on our planet, you know, and to me it's always been worthwhile to fight for them.
An extraordinary story. When we come back, we got the big game's MVP along with the Seahawks star quarterback. And finally tonight, Super Bowl 60's Dream Team. It's tonight's Nightlight. The man with the moves, MVP running back Kenneth Walker III and veteran QB Sam Darnold sitting down with ABC's Whit Johnson for a big game debrief.
When it hit me is when they showed me the running backs that were the MVP.
A long list of Hall of Famers.
Yeah. So it meant a lot to me to be able to be on that list with those guys and, you know, the greats. So it's a blessing to be able to be in that position.
Darnold becoming the first quarterback in NFL history to win a Super Bowl after playing for 5 or more teams.
I think, you know, in sports and in life, I think everyone goes through something. You know, we're all going through our different challenges, and, you know, I think, if anything, it just shows people that as long as you believe in yourself, anything's possible.
And you can see more of Whit's interview with Kenneth Walker III and Sam Darnold on GMA in the morning. And now, some Super Bowl news. Next year's big game will be televised right here on ABC. And that's Nightline for this evening. Catch all of our full episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for the company, America. Good night.